My name is Dan McCormick. Welcome to the I Am Affirmation Masterclass. This is our 13th version of this. It all stemmed from the idea that really will have a really clear picture for you by the end of the next 35 to 45 minutes. If we've met before, some of you know my story. If we haven't met before, most of you will be thrilled to hear, because today we're going to talk a little bit about this, because I can never do a Zoom class, a speaking engagement, or anything without talking about that first book put in my hands called The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. Today we have the president of the Og Mandino, CEO of the Og Mandino Company, Dave Blanchard, with me, and I'm so unbelievably fired up because of the nuance and the uniqueness of the way I Am Affirmations impacted my life, 10x'd my life, and took me to levels that I've never seen before, every aspect of it. And so if we haven't met, this has been about a 42-year journey since I first picked up that book as a young 19-year-old young man, no self-esteem, no self-worth, no net worth, literally just grasping at straws of what was my life going to be like, looking for those mentors that could lead me. And I found that book. I found my wife, all at the same period of time. And here we are all these years later with 4 married daughters, 15 grandkids. And we've just been so blessed in so many different ways. And one of those rich blessings is being able to be with you here today. This is our 13th masterclass that has been rich in the sense of nuance. And I love the word because we've had people and paradigms come on as guests on this Zoom class over the past 13 months now that have come from the paradigm of addiction recovery. My friend Xander Clark, who was with us just a couple months ago on this class, who's in the book, talking about his $500 a day opiate addiction habit. We've had people come on that are in the book, like Roz Hobbs, and you can read her story in great detail dealing with the brain tumor. We've had people that have literally been standing in their driveway while their husband committed suicide inside the house. Heavy tolls, and I'm sensitive to this incredible world we live in of hyper, shall we say, anxiety, comparison, my case, ADD, ADHD. And what we hope to do here today is knowing that you may have come for a lot of reasons. Maybe a friend asked you, maybe I asked you, but maybe there's just something that you're yearning for that will help you 10x your life, that will help you, like that subtitle of the book that I love to talk about, ignite your transformation, as Paul says in the New Testament, right? Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So with that brief background, now 40 some odd years for me going down the path of mission-driven entrepreneurs, speaking on stages around the world, primarily in the direct selling space. And I want to welcome everybody today. In case I have not met you, you're going to find this to be just an unbelievable group of people. And if you haven't read the book, we look forward to your review on Amazon. If you have read the book and you've texted me and shared with me and posted your review, it's just so heartwarming to see how something so simple as 2 words, I am, and what follows I am follows you. And so, Jay, I wonder, do we have our first slide ready? If we could just prop up that first slide, Jay, and we'll just get into these. We have a couple of slides. We have a quick game. We're going to need about 8 volunteers in a moment. And I am really excited about this game because it'll just be a pattern interrupt to get us started on this journey here right now. And let's see if we have the next slide. There we go. Okay, so there we go. I Am 13th Masterclass. This next slide will give us a little bit more detail on what we want to do. We always like to start off, if we could just switch forward there, we like to start off with wins and updates. What is a win for you? Maybe it's just being here today. And in terms of our business, our webpage, our company, our book, our coin, all the things that we're doing, you're going to be hearing more about the Dan McCormick Report, which is be the most intense newsletter ever attempted for bringing the greatest content. We're investing incredible sums of money to bring the greatest content every single month via this newsletter. We do have that BOGO going on the website. And then I just did this podcast that just got posted this week, the Mind Fit Method podcast. Mike Fanchard puts in incredible sums of time and energy and money to his podcast. If you haven't seen that one, there's more coming, but you can scan to order the book right there. There's my friend holding the book up. It's been fun to see people send pictures of the book, reading it from the beaches of Australia to sitting in their home, being with kids, you name it. It's been a great, great thing to see that. So here we go. We're going to get started. We're going to go rapid fire. Let's go to this next slide, and we're going to ask Roz to jump on with me here. By the way, if you're not speaking and you have noise in the background, which I don't hear any, I'm just saying you can go ahead and hit mute if you want. But we are going to look for the affirmation alphabet game participants of the day. Roz, I know that you not only are in the book, you're a great friend. You're somebody that loves the journey. We've had so many discussions about personal development, self-help, people, service, love, all the things, healing. When you were in my advanced masterclass last year, September, you and I played the alphabet affirmation game with a group of aspiring entrepreneurs. I don't see your picture on the screen, Roz, but I know you're there somewhere. Maybe jump up and say a little bit about what that experience was like for you the first time I introduced it and what your thoughts were, and then we're going to explain it and find 8 volunteers to help us.
Well, awesome, Dan. Thank you. And good morning, everybody. Oh, we are in for a great treat today. I'm so excited. Anyways, yes, it was last year, Dan, that you had introduced the affirmation game. And I thought it was amazing because it really got us thinking about, oh, maybe these are some things that I need to be saying, certain words that really resonate with us that we need to put into our journal, or make it habit that those are the words that we're going to use. So we played it a couple times on our team call, and we had a lot of fun with it because of course there are a few letters that are a little tough to find the great words, but when you find that word, it's like, wow, I love that. So I'm excited to play. Hopefully there's some people from my team that volunteer, because we certainly had a lot of fun. We did it the once and it was kind of like, you try to figure it out, and then we did it again. And it's like, man, it just resonated certainly to me and to everybody on the team. So thanks for doing this, Dan.
Oh, this is going to be great. Thank you. Because what we're going to do here, everybody, is we're going to get 8 volunteers. Now, you're going to raise your hand, and Roz and I are going to pick 8 people, West Coast, East Coast, north of the border, south of the border, around the globe. And it's going to go really fast, but it's a pattern interrupt. We want you to think and expand. And here's how I came to the idea. I was sitting in a meditation center for some light therapy treatment, and I had to sit there for 2 hours last August. And I'm thinking, how am I going to make this time go by? How am I going to quiet the mind? How am I going to make this productive? And I just started playing the game. And it got me into this beautiful I am present mode. And it changed my paradigm of whenever, think about it, if you have to get an MRI, if you have to just find that quiet space, if you have to find any time to help prop up or play that game where you've got to do a little pattern interrupt. So Char's got her hand raised. So let's go ahead and we'll add Char to the list here. And let's see if we can take the slide down now, Jay. Let's get the entire group up here, and let's just see what we guys saw. So we're going to go with Char. We need the only qualification for the game, Roz. The only qualification is you have to know the alphabet. If you don't, we can help you out. Sorry, Roz, I interrupted you.
Exactly. Aaron Headley has volunteered.
Okay, great. So we got Char, Aaron. Who else is going to volunteer? Is Toby going to volunteer? We need somebody from Minnesota. David, you want to join? Dave Blackford, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, I'll volunteer. I just don't know how to raise my hand here.
Okay, that's okay. Moya, we got Moya on the list, right? She's raising her hand. Yeah, that Zoom link, sometimes depending on the platform you have, sometimes it's easy to raise your hand. So I think we have 4. Go ahead.
Hagen.
Go ahead, Roz.
Charlie Hagen.
Great. 5.
She's got her name in the chat.
Okay. Charlie's good. Carrie's in.
Carrie Clark.
Okay. How many do we have?
We have 5 right now. I got 5. Char, Aaron, Dave, Blackford, Charlie, Carrie.
Let's go ahead. Add Diana Hayes.
Diana Hayes.
We'll get my son-in-law in there, Jeremy Anderson.
3, 6, 7, Jeremy Anderson.
And
right.
I missed Aaron Headley. Did we get Aaron in there?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Great. Is that 8?
I have 7. Moya.
Let's do it. Okay, Q's got his hand up. Let's go with Q.
Q, okay.
Okay. So Q, because your letter is at the end of the alphabet, we'll put you as number 8. And let's go with who was our first volunteer?
Char.
Char. Okay, we'll go Char. So here's the thing. We're going to go through the alphabet 3 times. We have 8 people. And of course, I know there's a couple extra letters at the end, but there are 2 letters in the alphabet for playing the alphabet affirmation game that's a little difficult. So we're going to go through each letter of the alphabet. Somebody can write them down in the chat if you want. You can write them in your notes. And then, of course, if you're on the email list, we'll put out a replay of this later on. So, Shar, we're going to start with you. Everybody needs that's in the game. You need to take it off mute. We're going to go rapid fire. And Shar, we're going to start with the A.
So Dan, just before that, I just want to go through the list so that we can rapid fire. So everybody
good.
knows
Thank you.
who's before them and who's after them.
Good call.
So Shar, Aaron, Dave, Charlie Hagan, Carrie Clark, Diana Hayes, Jeremy Anderson, and Q. So just remember who's before you because you're next. And then you're going to follow that alphabet with your word.
All right. We're going to go I am, start with the A in the alphabet. Shar, you're up.
I am abundant.
Oh, wow. Heavenly. Who follows Shar?
Aaron.
Oh, me. Oh, with A's?
You're on B.
Oh, right. I am blessed.
Oh, I love it. Good stuff.
I'm committed.
David gives us I am committed. Who follows David?
Charlie.
I am divine.
Wonderful.
Me, I am energetic.
Ooh, Carrie, good.
I am faithful.
Wonderful. Jeremy?
I am great.
I love that.
I am happy.
I am invincible.
Woo! Okay.
I am joyous.
Love it.
Oh man.
K is a tough one.
Oh man.
Who wants to help him out? You can phone a friend here.
Kind.
Oh.
What'd he say? Oh yeah, I am kind. I love that. Yeah, that's a good one.
K is an interesting ponder.
Charlie.
I'm sorry, it disconnected. What were we?
L.
I am loving.
Beautiful.
I am magnificent.
Powerful.
I am nurturing.
Nurturing. Love that.
I am optimistic.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Is that me?
I believe so.
I am pretty.
That's a beautiful thing, Q. Who's after Q? Back to Shaw.
Can I have Q too?
Oh,
Can I
Go
have
ahead.
Q too?
Go for it.
I am quintessential.
There you go. Oh, okay. So I was going with Q. I am righteous.
I love it.
I'm
I
a
am
superstar.
I am superstar.
I am thankful.
Oh, heavenly.
I am understanding.
Oh, very good.
I am victorious.
Is that me for W? Nova says I am nice. We got to figure out a W.
Did we get Diana?
I think I went out
I
of
am-
turn. I'm sorry. What was my letter?
W.
I am wonderful.
Hey, Jeremy, your go.
What's after W? Oh my gosh. X.
There's only one right answer here, and that's you can make an alteration and say excited, or everybody can put this in chat right now and type in xenodokial. There's only one way to say I am feeling xenodokial this morning, which means I am friendly with strangers in some cases here. But let's move from Jeremy to the next one. X, where are we at? Y?
We're
Uh, I am Y. No.
Youthful.
I am yellow.
Youthful.
Yellow is a great song by Coldplay. Let's go to Z. Who's going to give us our final one?
Zesty.
Zesty. Okay. You guys, congratulations. You've just completed the I Am Alphabet affirmation game. How did that feel to you guys? Does that give you some things to ponder and to expand your mind on? Give you some ideas about meditation, about pondering, about praying, look, when we talk about qualitatively changing your state, you can do that in an alphabet affirmation game all on your own. I do it all the time now, whenever I need to be in a quiet, silent. I do it sometimes when I'm laying in bed at night and I can't go to sleep. I can't get my mind to quiet. There's lots of things for you to do here and play. And I want to thank everybody that did that, because when you do it spontaneously and you haven't done this like I have in so many different occasions, it does, you do freeze up and ponder. I even do after doing it hundreds and hundreds of times. So I want to thank everybody for doing that. Go ahead and add any other comments or thoughts that you have in chat there as we move on. I hope you feel good about that today. And I just want to say that as we move forward here to my guest speaker here today, I can only sit and recall the desk I was sitting at, the place that I was in, the time of day that it happened when I got my first phone call from a friend that has passed away that was a friend of Dave Blanchard. And oh my goodness, he says, I hear you're a fan of the Og Mandino work, and our relationship has never stopped. And that was 4 years ago. Dave's on the road today, sitting in a hotel room. Dave Blanchard, good morning. I can't thank you enough for all you've done for me in my life, whether it's assessments, private conversations, dinners we've had, meetings we've attended together, groups we've spoken to, podcasts that we've been on. It's been a rich experience for me, and I just love you, and I'm so grateful. I just want to acknowledge Dave and some of the gifts that I have on my desk because of Dave. I have my cardstock scrolls that are with me all the time. I love my cardstock scrolls, okay? I have my set signed by Betty Mandino of The Greatest Salesman, Success, and Secret in the World. I have his incredible book for entrepreneurs called Equanimity. I have his book called Today I Begin a New Life. I have his book called The Observer's Chair. He has spent thousands and tens of thousands of hours coaching and counseling, inspiring and loving and living life to share with others along the journey. David, good morning and welcome to the I Am Affirmation class today. How are you?
I'm doing great. I had fun kind of playing the game in my own mind.
Indeed.
Ramona's with me off on the sidelines, and she was coming up with some ideas along the way too.
Hi, Ramona. Thank you. It's a fun game. The family we do it with the family. You do it in business. You do it in retreats. I did it at Chad Hymas's retreat, who was our guest just last month. So great to have you. And I know you and I have spent some time this week talking and pondering about I am. And I love nuance. We've had people come on here and talk about how I am partnering with God. We've had people come on and talk about I am happy. There's nuance to how people work their way into it. I means exist, am means with God. What follows I am follows you. And I just want to turn it over to you, and we can just chit chat here and see if we can't pour into the group and give some paradigm and some perspective from your angle.
Thank you. I was so excited when you told me the first time you're going to write this book, and it was going to be I am, because those two words are so critical at so many levels, and we're going to have some fun today. So I want to give everybody a framework to consider I am, maybe differently than they ever have before. And I turned to a consummate scientist, incredible human being, Robert Hartman from the University of Tennessee, a Nobel Prize nominated mathematician, who said, I can step back and I can examine my thought processes. It's called metacognition. It's a uniquely human gift. And I can choose to change those thought processes and to improve my life. The next day, I can step back, reflect on my habits of thinking, and make some more tweaks and changes and improve my life. Next day, I can step back. He said, I could do that for infinity. And here's a scientist, a mathematician. He said, one day I said, who's stepping back? Who's observing these habits of thinking? And he said, the only name I can give it is I am.
Mm.
I am. I am the observer of my habits of thinking. I wrote the observer's chair. Thank you for showing that.
Yeah.
Observer's chair is the I am chair. I am, Og Mandino said, I hunger for success. I thirst for happiness and peace of mind.
I'm going to go out on a limb, Dave, and guess that nobody had that word for their I am affirmation. I am a chair. And you've got the picture and you've got the subtitle, The Miracle of Healing Self-Esteem. That is that just blows my mind, everybody. I am a chair. I love it. Thank you. Carry on.
I'm sitting in the chair, at least.
Yeah.
This is the observer's chair. So we get to sit in this space, step back and examine our habits of thinking. I am. And I want everybody to just be with this for a moment. We are not our habits of thinking. In our truest essence, we are I am. If we actually said it correctly, it would sound like this. I am is. That's an interesting piece. I am is self-directed, passionate, etc. Because I get to step back and take a look at my life and make conscious choices and improve my life. But I'm not even my body. I am is the observer of my body. I am can choose to love my body and to treat it with great respect. I am the observer, or I would say I am is the observer.
Mm.
So when we hear these two words, I am, they are extremely important. Now, you and I talked about another concept that here I am sitting in this chair, observing my habits of thinking. And I may have a habit of thinking down there that wants me to be living in obligation. Have to, need to, should, must. I am does things for the right reason because I am wants to, gets to, and chooses to. Am I going to surrender? I am. Surrender, I am. And walk over and sit in that chair of that unhealthy habit of thinking and live in obligation. Have to, need to, should, and must. Or am I am going to get to this chair sooner, stay here longer, and be in control of my habits of thinking. When you started this book, I remember a really rich conversation around the fact that affirmations have been so confusing for people. I remember reading somebody's affirmations. I am rich. I have $100,000 a month income. I have a Ferrari. I have a Harley Davidson. I have a beach house. And I said, no. That's just all fantasy. That's just all fantasy. That's not I am. I am are the characteristics of I am. The observer sitting in this chair. I am empathetic. I am compassionate. I am consistent. Or, as we said earlier, I am is. The purest essence of our being is I am. Where are we going to be sitting? In the observer's chair, the I am chair? Or are we going to be sitting in our unhealthy habits of thinking? Are we to surrender our free will to them? That's what Og Mandino said. I've surrendered my free will to these accumulated habits, and the past deeds of my life have already marked out a path which threatens to imprison my future. And I started to quote a moment ago, I hunger for success, I thirst for happiness and peace of mind. We could say, unless I am acts, I will perish in a life of failure, misery, and sleepless nights. I will command. I am will command. And these habits of thinking will obey my command. I will act now. I believe, Dan, that you are touching on the very essence, the deepest level of self-improvement. As we embrace I am and we embrace these characteristics, and we become the best version of ourselves, and we create new neural pathways in our brain, literally. And the brain prunes off those unhealthy habits of thinking. And as Og Mandino wrote, my vitality will rise, my enthusiasm will increase, my fear to meet every fear ahead of sunrise, and I'll be happier than ever imagined possible in this world of strife and sorrow. And lastly, I am becoming consistent. I am becoming empathetic. The reason why that is a wonderful addition to an I am affirmation is if I'm not in my observer's chair and I happen to be sitting in one of those unhealthy chairs over here, unhealthy habit of thinking, and I say, I am committed, that habit of thinking says, bullcrap, not true. And now you're in battle with yourself for integrity because you're not sitting in the I am chair as it relates to that habit of thinking. You're not here. So you can't be this. You are over here, but you can say, I am becoming empathetic. That gives us permission to stand up and begin the journey toward, and as I said a moment ago, and get here sooner and stay here for as long as you can. And if you keep these affirmations, they're so powerful. I am becoming, yes. Oh, yes, I want to get back on that road. I want to get back on that road. I want to get back on that road. And I get here and I stay here long enough and I develop these new habits of thinking. I am a new creature. Og said, today I begin a new life. Today I shed my old skin, which had too long suffered the bruises of failure and the wounds of mediocrity. Today I am born anew, and my birthplace is a vineyard where there is fruit for all. The work you're doing is so important. Yes, we look at it and say, oh, that's cute, I am. No, it's not cute. It's the very essence of who we are.
I pause just to let everybody reflect on that. I see so many of you taking notes. I took a moment, Dave, to scroll through the audience because, you know, when we speak into a live audience, we can look at just about every set of eyeballs. On a Zoom class, I got to scroll through here to see who's here. And I know that some of you I've never met before. Dave hasn't met a lot of you before, but you can get a sense of really why we're mission driven to continue to serve and to love and to hopefully inspire through words. Now, the poet Hafiz said that the words we use become the house we live in. And isn't it interesting that the words that Og Mandino chose in that beautiful scroll number 4 is that I am nature's greatest miracle. And so the reason I made the coin is because we want to be able to grab that feeling, touch, feel, hold, connect with, that the magnetic pull starts with the power of words and the observer's chair, and to know that I am, as Hal says in his book, which is where it all started, for me to go from where I was, right, breaking the plateau, off the Miracle Morning Plateau, and knowing that Hal says that it's the most underutilized aspect of personal development and self-help. But when he said in the 3 imperatives of his book that you have to know that you're just as worthy, deserving, and capable as anyone else on the planet to accomplish and achieve and to go a little bit further. And I see some beautiful thoughts in the chat here. And Dave, when you think about the Og Mandino journey for you, my, oh my, is it 25 years ago you became the CEO? We've You've assessed people in tens of thousands of hours in their habits of thinking. When we talked on the phone the other day, I asked you, what comes to mind for you as I've had you on other shows and we've gone through Today I Begin a New Life from the paradigm of where Og was. We don't have time for that in detail. I will greet this day with love in my heart. I will persist until I succeed. And then I am. Og wrote in scrolls. There were parable, beautiful, inspired wisdom. But what do you surmise and what do you take away, if you can, from any of those magical words in the fourth scroll? I am nature's greatest miracle.
My favorite.
Purpose.
That purpose is to grow to a mountain, not to shrink to a grain of sand. Henceforth, I'll apply all my efforts to become the highest mountain of all, and I'll strain my potential till it cries for mercy. And the other one was so germane for today. I will focus all my energy on the task at hand, and I'll be able to forget all else. Talking about when I'm in my home, I'll think not of my business, for that will dampen my love. I won't be able to totally show up for those I love the most. And when I'm in the business, I won't think of my family because that'll cloud my judgment. I'll remain divorced from both. It was the paradox of the ages, as he called it.
Yeah.
I have taught that to so many, especially home-based business folks who have a carpet commute to their office. Touch the doorknob and you're in business. Step out of that room, you're in your family. And whether it's 10 minutes here and 20 minutes there, being able to go back and forth between those two is so important, because if I'm with Ramona and I'm thinking about all of the emails I need to respond to, I'm really not present. It's going to dampen my love. And if I'm doing the business and I'm worried about I should be spending more time with Ramona, I'm not going to be fully present and in creation solving those issues and problems. It's going to cloud my judgment. And what a powerful scroll. I am nature's greatest miracle. Well, the essence of what we talked about today. It is the essence. You are. That's why mathematically, if anybody wants to have some fun for a moment, Cantor's transfinite calculus, an aleph is infinity. An aleph index 1 is a non-denumerable infinite concept. It's an incredible, we can't even grasp it with our minds. Symbology to give us the ability to do so. A non-denumerable infinite to the power of a non-denumerable infinite is who I am.
Wow.
Nothing more magnificent in the universe. And likewise, others are priceless as well. So we meet this day with love in our heart, agape love, and we see their pricelessness and uniqueness without bias, without prejudice. And we have a dear friend, Kevin Hall, who taught us the word genshai. Never make anyone feel small, including yourself, right? Including yourself. Yeah, you've touched on the nerve center of self-improvement. And who else but you, Dan?
Oh my goodness. You're great. Let's talk about one word that you used here in closing. This will be a special close, because not only did you post on your Facebook page earlier this week, I believe, about the essence of the word you just used, and that's creation. And how do we get into creation? All right. You've given a lot of thought to that. And I had this intriguing moment while I was reading the book by Ryan Holiday called Perennial. And that question that he asks is, what are you doing today that'll have value 10 years from now? And so when he transitioned that book into the marketing side, and he started making me think about what would I do different in my book, and I chose to ask all of my friends to be my co-creator. because your I am affirmation, the nuance that you bring to the table today, when you open that book and you sign your name, you become my co-creator with Ken Shelton. And it's a living book because you have space in there. Hal Elrod even talked about on the podcast that I did with him. Dan, he says, it's so cool that you gave me space to write. You asked me questions that made me think and go deeper than I'd ever. And he said, I'm kind of known as the affirmation guy around the globe, right? But he says, you're taking me to new levels. And I think that that's because that's the power, Dave, of being a co-creator. And that's really what we have here is a group of 75 or so people that gathered here this morning. Maybe just opine on that creation and co-creation as we close out this session today.
Well, this is a soapbox and deserves hours, and we have a minute. So very simple. Live in a world where we create expectation, hold life hostage, and then we're terribly disappointed every time life shows up differently than we want it to. And we end up in catastrophe. We are addicted to fantasy and the norepinephrine and dopamine that courses through our sympathetic nervous system when we're in fantasy. And we're getting addicted. It's almost masochistic to the destructive thought process of catastrophizing. I learned through a very painful 10 years of my life, paying back $1 million in debt and putting 7 kids through school and marrying 4 daughters. There is absolutely zero value.
What? I can't get my speakers to work. What is it?
That the only way we'll want to live is to stay in creation. No matter what happens, it's always okay. What do we learn from this? How can I use this to serve others? And I needed this experience to learn something so that I can get to where I want to be. So we're always in creation. We're always doing the next millimeter toward a vision. Vision that people perish. We'll want to, as a society, get out of this escape and avoid fantasy, followed by catastrophe. Go back into fantasy, back into catastrophe, and get into the building of life in millimeters. And finding the joy. And the reason why there's joy, you get an inspired idea, ignites your brain, ignites passion. Passion drives action instead of it being boring, mundane, burdensome, repetitive, and hard. It's joy-filled. And we create. And when we create, there's something that happens inside of us that the only name we can give it is joy. And we do that day after day after day. We get to live in a joyful journey, no matter what's happening. Because Og said, I'll be happier than I imagine possible in this world of strife and sorrow. The world's not changing. We get to change how we show up in it. So I just choose to stay in creation. That's always the answer.
Yeah.
Always the answer.
That's rich. Well, I know we've been well fed here today, David. I know you've got a full schedule and I've just got 1 or 2 slides in closing, but you can stay or we can let you go because I know you've got another one. You're back up against it and then another one after that. And I just can't thank everybody. How about some hearts and love? I see Stella doing some hearts for Dave there. Some round of applause. We can put 7s in the screen. We always like that perfect number, the complete perfect landing, if you will. He's Dave Blanchard from the Og Mandino Company. Dave, would it be appropriate? Habitfinder.com. Is that maybe the best website?
Habitfinder.com /act now. Right.
Okay. That was, yes, exactly. Indeed, indeed. So thank you so much. And I hope that everybody can really appreciate that. It'll give you time to ponder as you reread the book, as you think about the day, as you look at your notes and you revisit the I Am alphabet affirmation game. I can't wait to hear your feedback in your next meditation session, the next time when you need to be quieting the mind and going through those beautiful letters in the alphabet that prompt something that says, as David experienced when he got to K, like, what is a K? I am kind came up, right? I am knowledgeable. Of course, the X is not an easy letter. So I go with xenodokial because I love strangers, right? I love talking to people. But I want to thank Dave so much. I want to thank all of you. Let's go to the next slide if we can, Jay. In closing here, we'll close it out. And I think this next slide is just simple. We're going to be keeping you posted on our journey with our emails. But I just love these verses at this time of year, virtually every day. You know, I've used this before, and that is we talk about the power of words, But I just so love the man that gave us 3,000 proverbs, as the ancient scripture tells us, that a word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver, depending on which version of the scripture you have. But think about this weekend, this class, I am a word fitly spoken. And then the pleasant words are a honeycomb. And that's why we do the alphabet affirmation game. Sweet to the soul, healing to the bones, just some beautiful scriptures to take away with. And I think we have one slide after that. And let's go to that one, Jay, if we can. And thank you so much for being here. David, I got you a little out of order on this slide. I apologize. I got ahead of myself. But here's some of the pictures for people that want to get your books and take a look at you were so kind to give such a deeply thought provoking endorsement of the book. And let's go to our final slide. I believe we have one more, Jay, and we'll wrap it up. Next masterclass. The details will be in the next email. And I know that I love Neville Goddard's quote that the feeling is the secret. That's why we talk about sensory stacking at the end of the book, stacking all of the things and all the paradigms and all the ways that so many people have given us over the past 13 months now, ideas and methods and paradigms of how we can make our day better. And I know that it starts with I am. I like to wake up in the morning and clench my coin and say, I am a magnet for miracles. I know that you are too. And I know that the details will be forthcoming. Now, this is the way my newsletter is going to come. The newsletter will come. We've already outsourced. We've got everybody all in line. It'll be FedExed every single month. And the reason I chose to go this route is because I like to write. Things change when you write. And so when you get the Dan McCormick report, it'll be a deep dive every single month that will also include the masterclass. It'll also include many other things that I've done, including my, I've talked to many of you about what I call sound and frequency. And Paul McCartney's famous phrase is, what makes great music? And he said, it's all frequency. And so I have remastered and remade my guided meditation 18-minute affirmation video to 432 frequency. And it's 11 minutes long, and that'll be included in the newsletter and the masterclass. And there's many other things that are coming, but you'll watch that for the next email, and that'll be coming out in the next week or two. And I just can't thank Dave enough. I can't thank all of the speakers that have been with us the past 13 months. It has just been an absolute thrill and a joy. And I hope that you'll go to affirmim.com. If you came today as a guest and you haven't left your email address there yet, love to have you on our email list. We don't sell your email list. We only are here for one thing, and that is to write the best content about I am affirmations. And I think today, if we were to put a value on what Dave gave us, what you all co-created with us on with the alphabet affirmation game, your own thoughts, your notes, your journaling, etc., we wouldn't be able to put a price on it. Because as soon as somebody says I am, and they decide to replace that with affirmations instead of defamations, life changes. Qualitatively, your life can change right now, today. Quantitatively, that's going to take time. But qualitatively, right now, it can change by changing the paradigm, changing the thoughts, going with the idea that what follows I am follows you. God bless you all. Have a beautiful Easter weekend. Thank you so very much. We can take that slide down. We can let everybody come off mute, and they can thank David aloud. They can put sevens in the screen. What a beautiful masterclass. It is an incredible sight to see all of your names. God bless you all. Have the best day of your life. We'll keep the screen open for a few minutes for any other comments, pictures that you want to take. Dr. Joe Scalia, thank you so much. We got all kinds of beautiful. I love Toby's word for the year being agency. So many beautiful things. David, can't thank you enough. Big hug, my friend. God bless you all. Have the best day of your life, and bye for now.